welcome to ERi-TV English News Broadcast. A warm wish goes from the broadcasting crew and myself for a blissful Epiphany to you, our viewers. Inviting you to stay with us up until the end for our domestic and international report for January 19th, 2026. I'll begin with presenting you the top stories. Epiphany colorfully celebrated nationwide. Vaccination program to underage children in Eritrea subzone. U.S. delivers more F-35 fighter jets to Israel. And China hits 2025 GDP growth targets. In today's domestic report, Epiphany was celebrated nationwide with vibrant and joyful festivities today, January 19th. In the capital Asmara, the religious observance was attended by archbishops, bishops, members of the Holy Synod, heads of dioceses, representatives of monasteries, senior government officials, members of the diplomatic community, and a large number of the faithful. A prayer service led by His Holiness Abuna Basilios, the sixth patriarch of the Eritrean Orthodox Tewahedo Church, was conducted at the Epiphany Holy Water Spot at Bahti Maskaram Square. During the occasion, Mergeta Simon Bayana provided a briefing on the historical significance of the Timkat holiday, indicating that national holidays are a source of pride and embody national values. Mergeta Simon honored the Eritrean martyrs who made it possible to celebrate national holidays in peace and happiness. And he extended his wishes for a joyful Epiphany to the Eritrean people at home and abroad, as well as members of the Eritrean Defense Forces. Mergeta Simon also called on the faithful to extend support to disadvantaged citizens. The event was broadcast live on Eritrean television and Radio Dimtz Hafash. In another news, the vaccination program for underage children in Eritrea subzone, Central Region, increased by 3% in the year 2025. The report was made by Mr. Aman Hadish, head of health facilities in the subzone, indicating that there is one health center in Saada Christian and 3 health stations in the administrative areas of Tsa'azega, Adishimagile, and Hazega. Mr. Aman said that the number of people who received medical treatment has increased by 9%. Likewise, Mr. Aman said that modern equipment used to diagnose cervical cancer is providing commendable service. Mr. Aman also said that 21 villages in the subzone have carried out the set-out environmental sanitation programs, and as a result, the utilization of latrines has increased by 89% at the subzonal level. Mr. Aman further stated that cataract diagnoses have been carried out on over 3,000 residents in the subzone, and cataract surgery in collaboration with Burhan Aini Hospital has been performed on 70 patients. He also said that there are plans to begin eye and dental treatment programs and called for community participation in their implementation. This wraps up our domestic news for this session. Dear viewers, do stay tuned, for we shall be back with international ones after the short break. Welcome back. We begin with the United States. The country has delivered a new shipment of F-35 fighter jets to the Israeli regime despite its repeated Gaza ceasefire violations, bringing Israel's total operational fleet of the advanced 5th generation fighters to 48. This delivery fulfills part of Israel's original contract for 50 F-35 jets. A subsequent order for an additional 25 aircraft placed in 2024 is scheduled for delivery starting in the year 2028. U.S. military assistance to Israel is formalized under a long-term agreement providing approximately $3.8 billion annually for military funding. This mechanism allows Israel to purchase U.S.-made military systems. The current U.S. administration has continued this policy. In 2025, officials notified Congress of potential arms sales worth nearly $7 billion, including advanced attack helicopters and armored vehicles, following a review of pending transfers. Israel, as the largest recipient of U.S. foreign aid, has utilized these funds to carry out wars of aggression in the West Asia region, acquiring advanced systems such as F-35 jets and precision-guided munitions. Since the start of the Gaza genocide carried out with extensive U.S. taxpayer support, the Israeli regime has killed more than 71,500 Palestinians and wounded over 171,000 others, the majority of them women and children. Moving on to China. China's economy grew 5.0% for the whole of 2025. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics showed today, meeting the government's target by seizing a record share of global demand for goods to offset weak domestic consumption, a strategy that blunted the impact of U.S. tariffs. The data underscored that industrial output rose 5.9% in 2025, outpacing retail sales 3.7% growth, while property investments slumped by 17.2%. The economy grew 4.5% in the fourth quarter from a year earlier, beating analysts' expectations slightly, but slowing to a three-year low from the third quarter's 4.8% pace, as consumption and investment dragged. Last year, China's global trade exceeded $6 trillion US dollars. The country previously reported that its exports grew by approximately 6%, reaching nearly $4 trillion US dollars. This robust commercial expansion resulted in a trade surplus of $1.2 trillion US dollars. In today's final report, at least 30 members of a leftist rebel group have been killed in clashes in central Colombia with a rival faction, according to military authorities, at a time of heightened tension in the region under the pall of United States military action in Venezuela and threats against Colombia. The clash, which have been the most violent in recent months, occurred Sunday in the rural areas of municipality of El Retorno, 300 kilometers southeast of Bogota. The clash took place between a faction of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC, led by the country's most wanted man, Nestor Giorgio Vera, known by his war name Ivan Mordisco, and another led by Alexander Diaz Mendoza. Both groups were part of the so-called Central General Staff, but separated in April 2024 due to internal disputes. The faction led by Diaz is currently engaged in peace talks with left-wing President Gustavo Petro, while Vera's group continues to launch attacks on civilians and security forces after the government suspended a bilateral ceasefire. These now rival factions had rejected a 2016 peace agreement that allowed approximately 13,000 FARC members to abandon armed struggle and reintegrate into society after disarming. Colombia's armed conflict, spanning over 6 decades and primarily financed by drug trafficking and illegal mining, has resulted in more than 450,000 deaths and millions displaced. With this, we conclude our domestic and international report for this session, DVUS. Before we finalize, I present you the top stories once more. Epiphany colorfully celebrated nationwide. Vaccination program to underage children in Beirut subzone. In our international, the United States delivers more F-35 fighter jets to Israel. And China hits 2025 GDP growth target. This was the World on Monday with ERi-TV English News Broadcast. Dear viewers, from all of us here, thank you for joining. Once again, happy Epiphany. Good night.